Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. Today featuring what is one of my everyday inks. This is one of those inks that I can turn to particularly for one pen, occasionally when I want something that is really great just for like writing on a daily basis. And that ink is Sailor Blue Black. This is just the regular Sailor Blue Black, like from the Gentle line, and I also have it here in cartridges, which I will show you. It's a really solid blue black. It's nice and rich. It's got some depth, a little bit of sheen in, if the ink pools or on the right paper. But it's a really lovely, rich, dark blue with those really lovely dark sort of grey-black overtones. Let's just look at it in comparison to a couple of other inks before I do the writing sample. So here's Sailor Blue Black. Just another blue black, which is my I suppose my favorite blue black, and that is Diamine 1864 blue black. It's a little darker, it's a little bit more, but it's also it's got less gray in the blue, I think. It's sort of just a lovely, rich, dark blue. And then just for the sake of the exercise, Lamy black, just so we can see that it is definitely blue, not, there's no real black in it. But for the other comparison of that blue-black title, I've got a couple of blues I wanted to put alongside. Firstly, Waterman Serenity Blue, and then probably my absolute favourite ink, Diamine Oxford Blue. I do really enjoy these dark blues, like Oxford Blue, Sailor Blue Black, and 1864 Blue Black are probably three of the most inked inks that I use, alongside a couple of things like Robert Oster Tranquility, which is very, very different, of course. But you can see it fits nicely in with this family of inks, but very, very solid sort of blue-black. So, as I said, I have it in these two formats, cartridges and then the bottle. I'm not sure if the bottle is still the same for this one, but I still have it in this bottle, which has the little, inkwell thing in it. Horrible bottle, but beautiful, beautiful ink. Now, the cartridges, on the other hand, I think are wonderful. Sailor's cartridges are among probably some of the best, particularly for the fact that they, if I can get the box open, well, that took more work than it should have. A couple of reasons why I really love these cartridges. Firstly, they hold a decent amount of ink. Secondly, they're labelled. Like, they've got like a little arrow showing which way it goes, Sailor Japan and Blue Black. How many times do we delve into a little bag of cartridges or something and not know which one we've got? When I travel with like Diamine or Faber-Castell cartridges or something like that, I write on the side of the cartridge what ink it is, just so that I'm completely clear as to what I'm putting in my pen. But another reason I love these is because the Sailor converters are really not that great. I use the cartridges in this, my Sailor Pro Gear, and what I actually intend on doing more so is refilling this cartridge, because it holds more ink than the converters do. And when that one wears out, I have a range more here, so I could either refill that with, in fact, the blue-black ink again from the bottle, using a syringe, which is actually better for that bottle as well than trying to fill from a pen, or any ink that I desire, of course. Another really great thing about the Sailor inks is that they're actually kind of affordable, particularly if you can find a local retailer. You can buy them from Japan at pretty decent prices, but they are generally not too expensive, and you get 50 mils of ink here or 12 large cartridges. So it's a pretty good deal. Like, your currency will affect it and where you're buying from will affect it, so I'm not going to label the prices. But, you can get this bottle in Australia for around $20 from Japan. So not too bad at all, really. So I suppose the bit we're all here to see is the writing sample. Now, I've already done the water resistance because I wanted to give that ink time to really dry, and also the water time to dry. So I've done that. That was written here with the Sailor Pro Gear, which has a hard medium nib on it, 21 carat hard medium nib. You can see that it's not a water-resistant ink. A lot of blue blacks are water-resistant. Like, traditionally, blue black inks are iron gall, and they're called blue black because they write blue and they dry black. It's not just, or blacker. It's not just, the fact that they are a rich, dark blue, grey, black sort of colour. you can see this one is not water resistant. It has some water resistance, but ink does move around a bit, but you are left still with enough to be, if this page got wet, as you can see, you would still be able to make out that if you caught it quick enough. So let's now do like the actual writing sample, just so you can see it in action. This is written with a Sailor Pierogier with a 21 karat gold hard medium nib. Sailor make a range of nibs, obviously, ranging from super fine through to sort of broader music nibs, and they have soft nibs or they have hard nibs, and in this case this is of course the hard medium, which is my preference. Even when one of the reasons I like steel nibs is because they're not soft. As a left-handed writer, if we're pushing into the page, that softness can sometimes make the writing just not quite as pleasant. Okay, so it's not the wettest ink, but that's actually not a bad thing. It's just a really nice, solid ink. It's wet enough that the writing experience is pleasant. There is feedback on this Sailor nib. You can hear that, but this isn't a pen review. I have reviewed this pen and I love it. But you can see that it writes wet enough, the pen writes wet enough, the ink writes wet enough for it to be a pleasant writing experience, but it's not super wet. It's well behaved. You can see that, there's no feathering or anything on that page, and if we turn it over, like nothing is coming through. Even like where I laid down that pretty heavy swatch over here, nothing is even really breaking through. You can see it a bit, but like that was a couple of spots where I went over and over and over. So it's a good performing ink. It's solid, it's reliable. Sailor Blue Black, just a nice blue black ink for everyday writing. I do love blue blacks, and this is one of my favorites. So thank you for watching, and I hope you found this video interesting and useful. If you did, give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe and all of that sort of stuff. And if you've got products you think I should be looking at, let me know. If there's a way you'd like to support the channel, get in touch and let's see what we can do. In the meantime, enjoy your pens. Let me know what your everyday writing inks are, and I'll talk to you soon.